Today, we will be discussing the missing Titanic sub. This vessel, operated by OceanGate Expeditions, was carrying 5 people to see the wreck of the Titanic, the legendary ocean liner that sank in 1912. But something went wrong, and the vessel lost contact with the surface. What happened to the vessel and its passengers? How are the authorities and the company trying to find them? And what does this incident reveal about the mysteries and dangers of the deep ocean? Stay tuned to find out. Before we go further, please give the video a like. That really helps with the algorithm. I apologize for putting this in the middle of the video, but the channel has stopped growing recently. Stockton Rush is a graduate of Princeton University's Mechanical Engineering and Aerospace Engineering programs. He was interested in exploration since childhood and dreamed of going to space. He became a cargo pilot at the age of 19, flying Douglas DC-8 planes around the Middle East. He also worked as a flight test engineer on the F-15 Eagle fighter aircraft for McDonnell Douglas. Rush would obtain an MBA from UC Berkeley's Haas School of Business in 1989. He then joined Morgan Stanley as an associate in the investment banking division, where he worked on mergers and acquisitions, corporate finance, and capital markets transactions for clients in various industries, such as aerospace, technology, and energy. Rush left Morgan Stanley in 1992 to pursue his passion for exploration and innovation. He founded Remote Control Technology, a company that manufactured wireless remote control devices for several Fortune 500 industrial clients, such as Exxon, ConocoPhillips, and Boeing. He served as the chairman of the company until 2008, when he sold the company to a private equity firm. Rush also became an angel investor, providing seed funding and strategic advice to several startups and emerging companies. He served on the board of directors of Blueview Technologies, a manufacturer of small, high-frequency sonar systems that are used for underwater imaging and mapping. He was involved in the company's acquisition by Teledyne Inc., a leading provider of cutting-edge subsea technologies, in 2012. He also served on the board of Entomo, an enterprise software developer focused on post-sale channel management and financial reporting. Rush's investment banking background has helped him finance his submersible ventures. In 2009, he founded OceanGate, with the vision of making the deep ocean accessible to more people. He oversaw the development of the company's submersible vessels, such as Titan, which can dive to depths of 13,000 feet and carry 5 people. OceanGate Expeditions organizes and conducts deep-sea expeditions for tourists, researchers, and filmmakers who want to explore the underwater world. The company is based in Everett, Washington, and operates under the laws of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. OceanGate Expeditions uses state-of-the-art submersible vessels that were developed with NASA, called Titan. These vessels can carry 5 people, including a pilot and 4 mission specialists, who can be paying guests or experts in various fields. The vessels, which are made from titanium and carbon fiber, have a large viewport that provides an unrivaled view of the deep ocean. They also have cameras, lights, and scanners to document their surroundings. They use Elon Musk's Starlink satellite technology to communicate with the surface. OceanGate Expeditions offers a variety of expeditions for different oceanographic missions, such as studying marine life, shipwrecks, geology, and archaeology. The Titanic expedition is the most famous and popular expedition that the company offers, which takes guests to see the wreck of the Titanic, the iconic ocean liner that sank in 1912 after hitting an iceberg. The wreck lies about 12,500 feet below the surface of the Atlantic Ocean, about 370 miles off the coast of Newfoundland, Canada. The expedition costs an eye-watering $250,000 per person and lasts for 8 days, with 1 dive per day. The expedition also involves a scientific objective, such as studying the decay of the wreck or collecting biological samples. The Azores expedition takes guests to explore the underwater volcanoes and hydrothermal vents of the Azores archipelago, a group of 9 islands in the Atlantic Ocean that belong to Portugal. The expedition costs $75,000 per person and lasts for 7 days, with 2 dives per day. The expedition also involves a scientific objective, such as studying the geology and biodiversity of the area or collecting geological samples. The Bahamas expedition takes guests to explore the blue holes and coral reefs of the Bahamas, a country in the Caribbean Sea that consists of more than 700 islands and cays. The expedition costs $50,000 per person and lasts for 6 days, with 2 dives per day. The expedition also involves a scientific objective, such as studying the ecology and history of the area or collecting biological samples. Bespoke expeditions are custom-made expeditions that cater to the specific interests and needs of the guests, who can choose their own destination, duration, and objective. The cost of these expeditions varies depending on the location, logistics, and complexity. OceanGate's submersible, the Titan, went missing on June 18, 2023, during a dive to the Titanic wreck. It had 5 people on board: Hamish Harding, a British businessman and explorer who holds several world records for flying and diving; Shahzada Dawood and his son Suleiman Dawood, 2 Pakistani businessmen who are part of a prominent industrial family; Stockton Rush, the chief executive of OceanGate Expeditions; and Paul Henry Nargeolet, a French explorer who has visited the Titanic wreck more than 30 times. The Titan lost contact with the surface about an hour and 45 minutes into its dive, and its whereabouts are unknown. The U.S. Coast Guard is leading a search and rescue operation with the help of the Canadian and British authorities, as well as private vessels. The search area covers about 1,000 square nautical miles and is hampered by rough weather conditions and deep water. The search teams are using sonar, radar, aircraft, and underwater robots to try to locate the Titan. The cause of the Titan's disappearance is also unknown. Some experts have suggested that it might have become tangled in the debris field that surrounds the Titanic wreck, or that it might have suffered a power failure or a communication problem. Others have speculated that it might have been attacked by a giant squid or a shark, or that it might have encountered an underwater volcano or earthquake. However, these scenarios are considered unlikely by most observers. The Titan has a 96-hour bottled oxygen supply, which means that it can stay underwater for 4 days in case of an emergency. It also has 4 electric thrusters to move around and can release some metal weights to ascend to the surface if needed. The fate of the 5 people on board the Titan is uncertain. They might still be alive inside the craft, waiting for rescue, or they might have perished due to lack of oxygen, pressure, or temperature. They might also have tried to escape from the craft using emergency suits or pods, but this would be very risky and difficult. The chances of survival decrease with every passing hour. In light of the Titan's disappearance, a CBS report from 6 months ago on OceanGate's Titanic tourism submarine has gone viral. In the report, reporter David Pogue raised safety concerns about the submersible. Pogue visited OceanGate's operations and went inside the $1 million submarine. Before boarding the sub, Pogue noted the improvised design of the vessel, which included lighting from Camping World and an unofficial PlayStation controller used for navigation. Pogue expressed nervousness and shared details from the waiver form he had to sign, which described the submarine as experimental and potentially dangerous. During a test dive with Pogue on board, the platform that lowers Titan into the water experienced a failure, and in a subsequent dive, the submarine lost contact with its launch ship for 2.5 hours. However, a third dive was successful, and the submarine located the Titanic shipwreck. CEO Stockton Rush had emphasized the safety of the pressure vessel, but acknowledged that other elements could fail without compromising safety. Pogue shared his experience during the tense moments of losing communication with the sub, clarifying that he was on the ship's surface and not inside the submarine. He mentioned that the ship's internet was shut off to prevent communication via social media. OceanGate Expeditions is leading the search efforts, and Rear Admiral John Mauger of the U.S. Coast Guard stated that the company's familiarity with the site makes them the best choice for the search. Do you think that OceanGate had taken sufficient precautions before the dive? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear what you have to say. Till next time. Signing off. This has been Christina.